Okay, since we have limited time in class, let's go ahead and talk about some of the homework. And this is the Pizzazz number 1. Pizzazz 1. And the little riddle is they are going to have a little one. Okay, so I'm just going to pick a few of these to do in case you might need a little review, and since we do have limited time in class. All right, I'll choose I. I have 3 terms together, so let's determine the coefficient first. I have 4 times -1 times 2, so this gives me -8. I write the variable u one time, and then I add the powers. I have 1 plus 1 plus 4 is 6. I write the variable v one time, and the power on v becomes 1 plus 1 or 2. And then I look for -8 u6 v2, and I'm sitting right on top of it, number 12 right here, so you can see that. Moving on down, let's do a problem like O. Here I have -3 times -3, which is +9. I write the base of a one time, and I don't have any other a's, so it stays squared. I write the base of b one time. There are no other b's, so b squared stays intact. And I have a c here as well as a c in the other expression, so I write that base one time, and that becomes c squared. Let's do one with a fraction in it. 3 times 1/3 times negative gives me a -1, so my coefficient is -1. I'll just write the negative sign. Then I write my base variable of b once. I have b squared plus b to the first, which is b cubed. I write a base variable of a one time. A only appears once, so it's done right here, no more a's. I write the base variable c one time. Then I have c plus c, which is squared. And then I look for that answer in the answer choices. Okay, moving on to the next. Here illustrating other properties, and I won't give you the answer to the riddle, but let's look at number 13. So in number 13, -4x squared is sitting out here as a factor, but -4x inside parentheses needs to be squared. So I'm just going to copy -4x squared, and then I'm going to apply the square to this term. -4 times -4 is +16, and then x inside to the first just becomes x squared. 16 times 4 is 64, but it's negative. Write the base of x once, and the power becomes 2 plus 2, or 4. And then I look for that answer in the answer choices. Coming to the other side, number 23. AB cubed, and it's all squared, so let's do one term at a time, or one factor at a time. This ends up being a squared b to the 6th. That's the result of that. And then I have the next factor. I have a negative sign raised to an odd power. So that negative sign raised to an odd power tells me that I'm going to have a -1 in my answer. So my answer will, or the final product will start with a negative sign. Then I would have a cubed, b cubed, and then my final answer combining everything, I would have my negative sign, a base of a raised to the power of 2 plus 3, which is 5, and a base of b raised to the power of 6 plus 3, which is 9. So just bringing all of the properties together in one single problem. Moving on to the third, this is really about combining like terms and using properties of exponents all in the same type of problem. I think the first is pretty simple. Let's look at n, choice n, simply because you have 3 terms being multiplied together. So determine your coefficient first. 5 times 2 times negative 3 is negative 30. Write the base of x one time, and then you just simply add the powers. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. And then you would look for that answer. Something like t, your coefficient would be 3 times 2, which is 6. X and y are not like variables, so you can't combine anything. So it would just simply be 6xy. Something like a, make sure that, no, you're not adding, so you can really just multiply these. So in part A, your coefficient would be positive 7 times negative 2. That's negative 14. Write your base variable of x one time. The power becomes 2 plus 1, or 3. And then write the base variable of y one time, and its power becomes 1 plus 2, or 3. So it's just rolling everything together. And let's do a few on the bottom, and you can finish up for homework. Problem I, you're simply combining or simplifying each term, and then in the end, if you have like terms, you then combine them. So the first term, the coefficient is 3. I have a variable of a base of a once, and the power on a becomes 1 plus 2 plus 3, or 6. And then I'm adding. So here I have 2, my coefficient is 2, and a takes on the power of 2 plus 4, which is 6. I've now created a pair of like terms, so when I have like terms, I simply add their coefficients together. I now have 5a to the 6th. And I will let you take it from there, and I will give you the puzzle in class when we have class again. I'll give you the riddle to the puzzle.